Hey guys, Marmalade here. Thank you so much for joining me. I decided to put this video together. It will kind of be an annual thing, I think, and I call it my top 5 pieces of gear for 2020. And first off, please excuse me for the background noise. It's very frustrating. I'm in this ginormous park that I always film in, and there's a guy with a ride-along mower and in my normal spot. So I hiked about, I don't even know, 3 miles back into the park to the farthest nether regions, and now he's coming this way. So if it gets loud, I may have to move again. I also am near a road and there's somebody with a chainsaw, so that's the life of filming in a public place. So just bear with me if there's a little bit of background noise. I apologize. So with that said, let's get started with the first item. And remember, these are I don't know if they're my favorite, but they're the most important to me and the ones that work the best. I've gone through a lot of different iterations of different things, so as of near the end of 2020, this is what's worked best for me this year. And so let's go with the first item. In no particular order, my first one is the Z-Pax Triplex Cuban Fiber tent. Let's go over some of the specs really quick, and I'll tell you why I've liked it so far. So first off, this is a 3-person tent. Any of you guys that follow me or even know me personally that I hike with know that I've struggled with tents for the whole 4.5, 5 years I've been backpacking. I'm not freakishly tall, I'm 6'3", but my head and feet, when on an air mattress, almost always touch the walls, the parts of the roof, and I get condensation that transfers. So my quest to get a bigger tent without getting too heavy was very difficult until this tent. Triplex is technically a 3-person tent, but it's really a good 2-man tent with room for your stuff. It is 60 inches wide by 100 inches long. And I actually, even at 6'3", which isn't super tall, like I said, I have to lay diagonally just so I don't touch the corners, but it gives me plenty of room. I can get all my gear in there. It packs down pretty small. It's 8 inches across by 13 long, and very light. It weighs 1 pound 6 ounces. 1 pound 6 ounces. I chose the spruce green. They have actually some new colors now too. They even have an orange color that might have been nice, but I don't know if I would have got it. It's not a pretty orange, but I wanted the green. I wanted to kind of blend in. And also, if I want to self-camp in the trees or forest, I wanted to kind of not stand out. I really like the blue color, but just thought it would stand out too much. Another big selling feature for me was 2 very large rainbow zippered doors, so it's very easy to get in and out, especially for a bigger guy like myself. And what did this cost me? As of 2020, this was $699. So it was a big investment, but I've had so much struggles with getting the right tent that it was worth it to me. And so far, I've been very happy. I've probably got about, I don't know, maybe 45 days in it so far. So far, so good. Really liked it. It's a synthetic dynamic composite material. It's fairly waterproof. The seams are sealed, so it's been great. It even comes with a stuff sack, which is nice. So far, thumbs up, 2 thumbs up for it, and really enjoyed it so far. All right, number 2 is my Light and Equipment Torrid Apex synthetic jacket. Look at that little beauty right there. Love this jacket, love it. Synthetic material, not down. I got, of course, you can see the black on the outside. I got the orange, marmalade orange on the inside. I think they call it burnt orange. You can get different dynemas. I got 10D, so the higher the number, the thicker or more durable the material is, but it gets a little heavier. Just absolutely love this. On my past puffy that I used on my thru hike attempt last year was like almost twice as heavy and also much bigger. Even when I didn't use it every day when it was warm out, but it took up a very large piece of real estate in my pack. On this jacket, it's synthetic and it's very unusual. What I do is once I get my quilt and things in the bottom of my pack, I actually take this and just shove it and fill the void. So I don't even take up really a new space for it. It just fills in the void. This material is incredible. Even the outer material, when you first pull out your pack, let's say when you do that, it's wrinkled, and it literally, like, I just had this smashed up, and in like 2 minutes, the wrinkles are out. So the wrinkles go away if you care about that kind of thing. My old puffy did not have a hood. This does. And what does it weigh? It weighs 9.55 ounces. Mine was about 1 pound before my puffy and much bigger, like I said, so I've saved almost a half a pound. The physical space it takes in my pack is much smaller, which is part of what I've been doing as you guys follow me, is not only getting my pack lighter, but taking up less space. And the next thing will be probably getting a smaller pack because I don't need the pack that I have now, just size-wise. And what did it cost? I bought this last year, so the prices, I don't know what they are right now, but I paid $170, which I think was great. And you know, if you get a down puffy jacket, it could be double that. So $170. And as I was saying, I was starting to say, if you order, this is an extra large at 9.55 ounces too, by the way, extra large. So it's obviously more material. Like my quilt, when you order things from Light Equipment, you can get just the standard sizes of a jacket, let's say, or a quilt, and they come in a set color. It's the way they come, but you can customize it. They have a customizer with just tons of colors to choose from, inside and out. I picked the black because I thought it would hide the dirt a little more, and I also thought I wanted a little orange, so I got a little color in there. This helps if it gets a little damp. I can lay it out, and when this dark color is in the sun, it dries like that. So, and why did I go synthetic over the down? Not only I really wanted to go lighter and physically smaller jacket, but for me, the one thing you worry about down is once it gets wet, it loses the heating and warming properties for your body. Synthetic within reason can get damp or moist, and it'll still keep you warm. So if you ever got in those kind of hypothermic kind of situations, you know, this would last a lot longer before it stopped being effective. So that was one of the things that really interested me in this jacket. And on their site, they say they make it about a half size large because you do want to learn your layer system. So I wear like a synthetic shirt like this when I hike. Then I have my Echo pullover thin hoodie that's kind of take off the edge in the morning. Then this has to fit over that, and then my rain jacket's bigger to fit over that. And those four things are what I use generally on every trip to help me layer in case it gets really cold. So they make these about a half size bigger, like I said, just to fit that. So that's number 2. All right, my third item for 2020 is my Nightcore NU25 headlamp. A headlamp as an item, as one of my favorite pieces of gear? Yes, it is. Believe it or not, it's an amazing, amazing headlamp. Let me tell you about it. They call this a triple output USB rechargeable headlamp, and that's one of the things I wanted for this. I've had some of the black diamond ones in the past and everything, and you need batteries, and I had a problem where they kept getting turned on in my pack, and then it would just burn the batteries out, and if you don't have extra batteries, you're screwed. I wanted a rechargeable one, I wanted to go small and light, and this does all that. This weighs, with this ultralight headband, 1.17 ounces, so barely over 1 ounce. When you order this, it comes with a bigger headband, and you can order this optional, but why not go with this? And, you know, some people actually have the bigger headband because they want to fill it on their head, but I like this. I picked a bright color so I could find it in the dark, you know, or in my tent. They come in a bunch of different colors, but just love this thing. So on the top here, they have 2 buttons. I know it's hard to see, but one's for 3 different levels of LED white light and 3 levels for the red, and there's a red flashing mode for like emergency if you were trying to get somebody's attention. You can also hold on both of these at the same time for a certain amount of time. It'll start blinking, and that'll lock it so that it does not get turned on while it's in your pack, which has happened to me multiple times. But thankfully, when it was with batteries, I haven't actually had a problem with that on this. Besides the weight, one of the biggest selling features, besides being rechargeable, which is key, was that it was light, it was rechargeable, but this is one of the few that are rechargeable that can actually be plugged in with a micro USB cable to like one of your battery sources, and it will actually work while it's charging. Most of them don't. So I just pictured in a worst case scenario, if I'm in the desert on the PCT and we want a night hike because it's hot, and I go hours into it, especially on a higher mode, it'll burn out quicker. I was thinking, well, I don't have batteries to put in, so it's just dead. So with this, it's rechargeable. You can literally put your cord into your battery, put your battery maybe in your pouch somewhere or hold it or whatever, and it'll actually work while it's charging. So that to me was a key point for me, just in a worst case scenario kind of thing, or maybe you're lost on the trail and you're trying to get back to your car kind of thing. So for me, that was huge. So anyway, that's number 3. Okay, so what is number 4? My Enlighten Equipment down quilt. Some of the things it comes with is a stuff sack that I'm not showing here, but also this bag. This is what you store it in. When you normally compact this into a compressible sack in my pack that's very small and tight, but if you were to leave it like that for day after day after day, like say in your storage or your house, it would compress the feathers and lose its warming properties. So you do not want it compressed when you're not actually backpacking. So they give you this cotton sack. It's very large, so that the feathers can be you know, fluffy and stay ready for the next trip. So yeah, check it out. I got a long and wide. They also make an extra long and extra wide, but I actually last year was at the PCT Trail Days in Cascade Locks, and Enlighten Equipment were there, and so they fit me. I laid in it, I fit in. I want a little extra because those of you guys probably know that backpack a lot, that, you know, I'll put my battery and my water filter and different things down in the footbed of my quilt at night so they don't freeze when it's going to be cold weather. So I wanted this to be a little extra long, and also so I could pull it way up around my neck and get cozy. So yeah, this is the one I got. It's black on the outside, and of course eggplant on the middle. And just like their jackets, this is a 10-degree quilt. So just like their jackets, certain sizes come in standard colors. That's what they come in if you just want to get off the rack and you don't care about the color. I was iffy about the black at first, but I actually really like it. It hides the dirt just like my jacket, so that's the premise. I love the eggplant. I mean, obviously if I customized it, it costs more money, but you can customize any outside and inside color. I probably would have got orange, but purple's great. And the one thing I learned about this was, you know, you get more, I talked about my Enlightened Equipment jacket. If it gets wet, it dries easy, but I don't get much condensation or wet on that. But this I get on, I would say 50% of the time in a tent. With your body heat, you create condensation and your quilt is wet. And I have to pack it wet when I go hiking. So what I found on trail was when I lay this out on a bush or a rock, the black absorbs heat and it dries like that. So the black actually ended up being a great color because it hides the dirt, like I said, and it just dries out quick because of it absorbing heat. So it turned out to be a win-win when it came to the colors. Because I got the long and wide is 24.5 ounces, so 1.52 pounds, so 1.5 pounds for a quilt. So I thought for extra material and down and everything, that's pretty good. I chose the 10D material. Remember I told you even on the jacket you could pick different deniers. So thinner is going to be lighter, but not as durable or tough amongst getting poked and prodded and maybe torn. So I picked 10D, which is like a happy medium and not too heavy. And what do I think of this thing? Well, I've tried to figure it out in my head. I don't know exactly, but I think I've got about 2,000 miles on this quilt, and it's still as puffy as it used to be. I'm trying to think of, I think the coldest night I ever had was just what I just had. If you guys watched, I just went into the Golden Trout Wilderness a couple weeks ago. It was early November and 2020, and I got down to 23. Now, this is a 10-degree rated quilt. That means you'll survive at 10 degrees. Doesn't mean you're necessarily comfortable, but I brought a lot of layers, and I was right on the verge of being cold, but I was comfortable enough to be cozy and warm. But I know if it got just a few degrees colder, maybe 5 degrees colder, I would have froze. But I had another layer to put on if I had to. So this thing's done me really well. It's very compact, very light, and that's, I told you what I'm going with, but it does the job. So I run warm, but I just thought you can get any degree temperature you want. But I wanted to go with the colder 10 degree that can handle colder, because then I have a much wider range that it can handle. If it's really warm at night, then I sleep on top of it or use it like a loose blanket. So that's one of the advantages to the quilt. Oh, and lastly, I failed to say, this model is called the Enigma. The Enlightened Equipment makes the Enigma and the Revelation. The only difference is this has a sewn in, see how this is sewn in foot box. This is where your foot goes, and it's sewn in solid here. The Revelation has a zipper all the way down, and I guess the benefit to that is you can open it all the way up like a blanket if it's hot. But it's very rare that it's so hot that you need to use it as a blanket, and if so, I just kind of hang a leg out. But I didn't like that the zipper, a couple things, the whole full-length zipper all the way from down here created more weight and more something to have to deal with all the time. But also, one issue that there was only really complaints from some of the people that own those is that when the zipper goes down here and it doesn't zip up all the way tight, so there's like a hole, and so when it's cold at night, the cold air can get into your feet. And when I called them and asked them what the solution was, they're like, well, just shove a t-shirt down there. It's like, well, I shouldn't have to shove extra clothes down there to do what the quilt should already do. So I went with this. It's also lighter because you're not having to deal with the weight of the zipper, which obviously is not super heavy, but it's enough when it comes to ounces here and there. All the ounces add up. So I've been super happy with the Enigma for sure. All right, that's number 4. So my 5th and final most reliable and favorite piece of gear for 2020 is, of course, my Ula Circuit backpack. Here it is. You guys have probably seen this. Marmalade orange, of course. There's my PCT patch. It's pretty dirty, but I've actually washed it a lot. These go in the wash, you can go to laundromat, throw them in the wash machine with very light soap, and they clean out great. Yeah, this is my Circuit. I kind of researched it, and I've done, I think, at least 3,000 miles with this. I got it in August of 2017, and it's fit me great. I got lucky and talked to the owner over the phone and ordered online, and he verbally fit me to ask about how it's built, height, weight, thickness, thin, how I'm built. And he's the owner of the company and fit me, and it fit me perfect. And I'd bought 2 packs before that at REI, and I got fit, and neither one fit me. So I was a little hesitant, and I've been nothing but happy with this pack. So let's go over some of the specs and why I enjoyed it. So I got the larger size, which is the large size frame, large size waist belt, large straps. I got what they call J straps over S straps. J straps are for normal chested men and women. If you're large chested man or woman, you get the S straps, and they just kind of go more around this way instead of down over you. But I'm just normal, so I got the J strap. Oh, you can see a bunch of sweat stains on there. That's kind of cool, isn't it? Salt. The max capacity of this pack is 68 liters, but that's when you roll this all the way up. It goes up to here, but most people do not do that. If you had to, you could, but I mean, I just got like my quilt stuff in there just to kind of fill it out for you right now. But no, when all my gear's in there, I could probably get right to the level of this frame. It's got a U-shaped hoop that just goes like this, and that helps distribute the weight around it. So as I said, I bought it in August of 2017. It was $225. You don't get nickel and dime like some of the other companies where you say, well, do I have to pay extra for waist belt pouches? Do I need this? Do I need that? It comes with everything, and most of the stuff is removable, so if you don't want it. But in August of 2017, I paid, so a little over 3 years ago, I paid $225. I looked on there now, the standard one is $255, so it's only got up $30 in 3 years, so it's pretty good. And you can do some things like you can customize the color panels. They're going to be an upcharge, of course, but you can customize your pack, and they have about, I actually don't know, I should have researched this, but maybe 6 to 8 preset colors, depending on the pack style. They make a lot of different packs, different liter sizes, but on the Circuit, I think they make 5 or 6 colors, but you can customize and make panels different colors. It'll cost you more. You can also have your trail name or regular name embroidered on your pack. I think it's like a $15 upcharge. I didn't do this, but maybe will in the future. When I got this pack, I didn't have a trail name, so. And then I cannot sew, and so I sent in the patch, and actually after I got my pack, I sent my pack back in, and they washed it and kind of got it all cleaned up. It wasn't very old, but cleaned it up and then sewed the patch on for me. So I don't trust my sewing, but it literally they charged me like $5 to put a patch on. So that was a great deal. Yeah, so that's been a great conversation starter when you're on the trail. And lastly, I would say one of the biggest selling for me was when I started looking at packs was different max weight capacities, because I was getting ready to do the Pacific Crest Trail. My gear was getting lighter, so the max capacity didn't matter for most packs for just everyday backpacking for a weekend or whatever. But I knew that if I did the whole 2,653 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail, when I got to the Sierras, I would need the pack to be able to comfortably handle my ice axe and my micro spikes and my bear canister and maybe a couple other layers of clothing and who knows what else to get through the Sierras and the high elevations in the snow. So it's kind of weird, but you almost need different packs for different sections of the trail if you could afford it. But I wanted a pack that would only be needing that for about a 400-mile section, and then the rest of the time I could just not worry about that. So this pack can handle 35 pounds max comfortably. I've had it even a little heavier early on, and it's a little uncomfortable, but not bad. And by the time you get to the Sierras on the PCT, you're in great shape, so the extra weight doesn't affect you that much, and you have longer food carries too. So although the water is more abundant, so you don't have to carry water, you have longer food carries, so there's more weight in food. So this pack fills all the needs and checks off all the boxes. So that's one of the main reasons why I got it. But I will say the reason why I want to do this video is to show my 5 top pieces of gear for 2020. But next year, and actually very soon, maybe the end of this year, I'll be trying to get a new pack. I absolutely don't know what I want to get. This is the Circuit, which is 68 liter max. I may go with their next size down, which is the Ohm, and just get everything the same size. The pack is physically smaller, it's 63 liters instead of 68. And I would save about 6 or 8 ounces on the actual weight of the pack itself. So I'd have a physically smaller pack, and also the pack itself lighter. So that's the direction I'm going in. So so if I stuck with ULA, which I love, I would do that. But I'm also looking at other brands, trying to see where's that fine line between a light, strong, comfortable pack that can handle a decent amount of weight if I do want to load it up. So it's always that fine line. You go super light, but then you need to get your gear light, or you can go heavier and get a much heavier backpack. That the pack itself could weigh, like a Osprey could weigh 4 pounds. So it's that fine line. So I'm researching. If you guys have certain packs you like, let me know why and the size of them and why you like them. I know a lot about packs, so I'm still researching, but I'm definitely open to suggestions. So anyway, that's it for my top 5 pieces of gear for 2020. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks so much for watching. Until next time, see you down the trail.